Oh hey, didn't see you there. So we're just out here today watching for some birds here in the backyard of the aquarium. Again, my name is Danielle and I'm super excited to be here today. We have Dan behind the camera, and as we've been sitting out here, we've actually seen quite a few birds. It's been pretty amazing. We've seen a brown-headed cowbird, a pair of finches, some robins, and a chipping sparrow. And I think we've only been out here for maybe 15 minutes. So this is an activity that you can do in your backyard every day. So birds are always moving around, they're checking things out. So we're gonna go over a couple of different ways. Whoa. Oh, is it Wednesday?
It's one on a Wednesday, yeah.
We'll just let it go. I'm gonna keep watching for birds. Love living in Minnesota on Wednesdays. And the first of the month. I think we're good. All right, back to what I was saying. Maybe. Okay, back to birding. It's really amazing. The birds are still calling even when all that was going on. You could hear the different birds moving around. But today we're going to talk about all the different ways that you can be bird watching in your own home. So birds are moving around. They're always moving around by season, so you can see different birds at different times of year. And one of the best things you can do is just become familiar with the space. So, like I said, I'm in the backyard of the aquarium. This is often where our nature preschoolers are playing. And over this way, we have set up a bird feeder that we made this morning for the summer camp classes. And so we've been kind of keeping an eye on there. It's good to be around in one spot. You don't want to be moving around too much. You can definitely be walking and bird watching, but sometimes staying still is really good so you can really hear what's going on. So a couple of things that I have here today. I have my binoculars, so that way if I do notice a bird that might be a little bit too far to see, I can check it out, start to look for some identifying features. So the color, the shape, the size are all good ways to start identifying birds. And then I also have some field guides here. So I have a beginner's guide to beginner's guide to birds, and then also the National Geographic one. There's all sorts of really great books out there that you can get. There are even phone apps that you can use to start identifying birds. I'm a fan of the Merlin app, but there's so many out there. The Audubon, really great resources that you can have right out in the field with you. So, like I said, we're kind of sitting still, we're looking around. This has been our spot for quite a bit today. And one thing that you can do at home is create a sit spot. So a sit spot is somewhere where you can go and just hang out for a little bit, and you can go back to that place multiple times. So it's a great place that you can start noticing different observations. So this seems to be a really good sit spot for us. I have a place where I can relax. I have a huge view of where I can look for birds. I'm amongst a bunch of trees. Like I said, we have that feeder over there. In fact, we can go over to the feeder right now and see what that looks like. So this is just a simple one we made this morning. It's included in the summer camp in a box. So for more information about that, you can check out our website. And we hung this up earlier this morning. And I can see that some birds have been here because some of the seeds are missing, and there's not a lot on the ground. So that means they've come and they've ate some of the seeds, which is a good sign that there's birds around here. And the fact that we've seen some already, awesome sign. We've been hearing a lot, and so one way to keep your kind of senses going is using your owl eyes. So owls have really big eyes, but they're fixed in one spot. So if we were owls, what we could do is focus on one spot, and the more that you focus on it, the more you're going to start seeing through your peripheral vision. That is a great tool to have while bird watching. So you don't always have to be scanning your eyes, looking around. You can watch in a general direction, and the longer you stay standing there and staring in that way, you can start seeing more and more of your field of vision. So I'm trying it right now. You can try this right now too. Just stare at a fixed point and see how much more you start to notice. I can start seeing what's happening on the ground and above my fixed spot. All really good ways to keep your eyes looking for what's going on. Another thing, if you're moving through an area, your body language can tell a lot to the birds. They're really good at picking up those cues. So if I'm going to go back to my sit spot, I'm going to do something called a fox walk. So with my feet, I'm going to focus my weight last. So if I step, I'm going to put that weight second. So I'm not creeping around or anything like that. Instead, I'm just taking slower steps and allowing my steps to stay nice and quiet. So I can't even hear my steps. And this way also slows you down, so you can walk a little bit slower. You can kind of keep your eyes and ears open, exploring what's around you. But that fox walk is a great way to move through a place waiting for birds. If we were just crashing around and bumping everything, the birds might fly off. They wouldn't want to be near us. So instead, I want to respect their area, stay nice and quiet, but not look like a predator. I don't look like I'm trying to hunt them right now. So if you think of like a cat that kind of has their shoulders moving, I'm not giving off that type of look to the birds. Instead, I'm just walking quietly. The next piece that really opens your senses is with your ears. So we're going to use deer ears. Now, deers have a really fascinating way that they can move their ears individually so they can really hear what's around them. Now, we can't totally do that with our ears, but what we can do is stay nice and still and start listening. And the first things you're going to pick up are the big noises. That's pretty obvious. And sometimes those big noises might be a bird that's really close to you. But the longer you sit, try to listen beyond the loud noises and listen into the silence. So it might seem like there's not a lot going on, but the more you just sit and focus on that silence, you can start to hear maybe a small chirping of a bird. Maybe not a full song, but just small pieces of song that they might be doing, or maybe an alarm call, or even just kind of a type of call that they are just talking to each other. So you can listen in between that silence to hear more of what's going on. Then, as you hear them, so I can hear one coming from this way, I can take my binoculars and see if maybe I can find something. I think it was that sparrow again that we saw earlier. I think it's there. It's pretty exciting. And even if you don't have binoculars, you can pretend. They still work too. Alright. So, if we were to put all of those skills together, so we're really toning in everything that we're learning, we can start going through and start identifying different birds. So we have the book here, and earlier, when Dan and I saw one of the birds, we didn't know what it was at first. So we were looking at the color, the shape, and the size, like I mentioned earlier. And what we ended up finding was the brown-headed cowbird. It looked just like this. It had that brown head and that black body, and it was just right over there. So that was pretty cool, and we got to watch it. And then we learned a little bit more about its calls, so then we could hear it even after we didn't see it anymore. So it's been hanging out kind of over behind us, and every once in a while we can see a glimpse of it. Now here in the backyard of the aquarium, it's a great place to look around. Your backyard, your front yard, right outside your window, all great places to be. Walking through the woods, walking on a trail. Great, great, great. Get outside, start using your ears, start using your eyes, walk carefully, and see what you can find. We're gonna walk this way and see if maybe we can find something cool too. So, I'm gonna use that box feet. Big. Yep, it's pretty big. See if he moves around. I think it's Bogey the bald eagle and Horse the turkey vulture. I think they're checking us out just the same as we're checking them out. So these two birds, these are raptors, and you can see them all the time here at Great Lakes Aquarium. So even though our doors are shut, feel free to come on by, practice your binocular skills. So we have two amazing animals right there that you can see. Beautiful birds. And then once you practice here, you can even go out and you can see if you can find other turkey vultures and other eagles. So with that, I hope you get outside, especially when the weather is really nice like this, and see what kind of birds you can find. Maybe you can even make a list and write down which ones you've seen to see how many birds you see throughout a month or a week or a year even. You can have an entire list. There's also resources where you can put those birds into a big data system so that way people can see what kind of birds are all over. So there's something called eBird. I know that's something me and my friends use. We put the birds that we can see on that website. Then you can go on back and you can see if other birds have been spotted in other ways. So that's all citizen science. It's a great way to get involved with your birding community, see what's out there, and also keep track of what birds are moving around here. Thanks again for watching. Thank you for the support. It's so great to have you all here with us. I'm gonna keep birding a little bit longer because it's so nice outside. Have a good rest of your day.